and I'm really proud to be able to have Buckman here speak on the line because he's playing a show this evening, which is just in the Chinatown area of Vancouver. And it's a very special feature, and it's part of a series of summer festival, interesting summer Friday evening shows that's happening. So let's see if we can get Buckman on the line right here. Hello, Buckman.
Hey, Matthew.
Excellent. Oh, thanks so much for calling through, because I know you're going on stage fairly soon.
Yeah.
What can you tell us, well, firstly, about what's happening tonight here in Vancouver?
Well, this is part of their summer concert series of the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Gardens. And they're calling the thing Enchanted Evenings, and they've got all sorts of people, world music and everything. And we did a production there last year, which told the story of Siddhartha through folk and soul music, through dance and theater and everything. And this year is it's not a full production of that, but tonight is mostly focusing on the music from the show. So we're having this world fusion band that I'm a part of called Red Light Monastery, and this other band called Nod, which is playing, and I'll be playing a solo set and telling a bit of the story of Siddhartha. And Siddhartha is a story by Hermann Hesse. And I don't know if you're familiar with it. A beautiful story, very relevant to our times, and just just this very rich story that we started to tell through music and other mixed disciplines.
It is quite a famous book, and I know, it's very much about Buddhist thought, and Hermann Hesse spent a lot of time sort of in semi-isolation, really getting into Eastern spirituality, and that informed the writing of the book. And I know that you're part of the yoga, movement here in the city as well.
I teach yoga, and I try to, incorporate some of the teachings and the guidance that the yogic tradition, that gives and gifts to people. And that includes some Buddhist sort of things. And, so I try to incorporate that into my life. I wouldn't say I'm a yogi or a Buddhist. I believe everybody has their path, but it's something that really has resonated for me and has, helped me make a bit of sense of why I'm a crazy human and everything. So I appreciate it, and it's a very rich story to kind of try to apply to yourself and see where you fit.
Yeah. It sounds wonderful. I wonder if people have tried to put this to music before. It sounds like a very unique event this evening. Yeah,
I don't think they have, as far as I could tell. It started for me really just for one folk event. I played and told the story and just told why certain parts of the songs related to the story. And then we got this offer to do it at the Sun Yat-sen Gardens, and I turned it into this big production with all these different friends. And I've never heard of anybody else doing it. And that last year we had a sold out show. This year, when we actually do the show, we're doing it part of the Vancouver Fringe Festival in September. So we have 3 nights at the Sun Yat-sen Gardens, which will be the full production. Tonight is an interesting one because we get to focus just on the music and a little bit of storytelling without having to be constrained by having to just keep the story flowing and tell the whole story. So tonight is a real special night where we get to focus on just the power of and enjoy the music that we're creating for this story.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, that's certainly sounds like a very unique experience, and it's at the Chinese Classical Gardens. Where exactly, in relation to the downtown, is that?
So it's right in the heart of Chinatown, practically. There's these big football fields, soccer field that's right there. I'm not sure if it's off Corral Street.
Yeah.
The actual address is 578 Corral Street.
Right.
And the show is starting tonight, I believe, at 7:30. So
yeah, 7:30, and also featuring yourself as a solo set, and also Red Light Monastery and Nard featuring a whole bunch of great local musicians like Zamir Danji, and Greg Valou, who's a multi-instrumentalist, and Meg Elgin on violin. So it sounds like just a beautiful folky and soulful evening.
Yeah, it will be, and I'll also have my friend, a true yogi. I think he's the truest yogi I know in terms of how he's living. Waylon Belding is going to be there. He plays CiTR. He's quite amazing.
Oh, wonderful!
Dedicated yogi and amazing musician. He'll be part of that troupe as well.
Well, we are speaking to Buckman Coe here live on Stranded, the Australian-Canadian Music Show, and he's been speaking about the great show tonight, which is a musical rendition of Herman Hesse's Siddhartha novel. But also, Buckman, this would be a great chance to talk about your new album as well, By the Mountain's Feet, which is pretty much just come out in the last month or two.
Yeah, it came out last month, and we were being really blessed with, a great review by Mike Usinger from the Georgia Straits, and and since then I've got to go on the CBC and talk about the album, play tracks from the record, and on Shaw TV. So the album's been really well welcomed, and yeah, some of the tracks actually from the album were inspired by the show tonight. So there's actually a bit of the music that I'll be playing, at least 3 or 4 tracks that actually have a direct relation to the Siddhartha. So I'll be playing some tracks from that album tonight, solo renditions, which is they're always really beautiful to play the solo renditions. In the album, we went all out with just getting some of the best musicians that Vancouver has to offer to play on the record, including people like Steve Dawson playing amazing pedal steel, and Doug Gorkoff playing cello, and Paul Rigby playing guitar. So a lot of not those people; those are kind of special guest musicians. And out of the making of this record, we formed a great rock band, really, which is it's like folk soul rock. Really, that's what it's turning into. So that's the other thing I get to do. I get to play this album as a band, and as closely as we can to what we created. And I've actually got a show next week that'll be a band show. It'll be at the Media Club, and so that'll be my full band show. I get a real diverse experience of playing, which is pretty exciting.
It is, certainly, and I agree with the review on the Straight there that it's a timeless sound, or one that sort of may harken back to the 60s when the feeling in the air was where social movement was happening and music was really part of that. So it's exciting to hear some fresh music that sort of harkens back to that time in a sense. Were you conscious of that when you were making the songs?
Yeah, I've always been really inspired by people who use music to deliver a message and to speak about the times, if anything, and to really try to tap into what is important to people, what's closest to people's hearts. So I'm thinking of people like Marvin Gaye and John Lennon and Nina Simone, and these are people that Michael Franti of our most recently, I think, is one of our most vocal people that just speaks for our times, and that's something that I've wanted to be a part of. If I was going to do music, that's what I want to be a part of. Otherwise, my work before I've worked with people with mental health issues and worked on a little bit more, with social and ecological values in mind, and I'd rather be contributing to that. And if it's through music, then I feel blessed and I feel happy that I can do that. And that's what's closest to my heart, and that's what I want to put forth into the world.
Well, it's very positive, and I don't think we're ever going to lose this sense that music can make a difference, and you're definitely part of what's happening right now for doing that. And for Vancouver especially, we're very fortunate to be able to experience tonight the Enchanted Evenings, a night in Samsara, at the Dr. Sun Yat-sen Classical Chinese Gardens.
Yep.
578 Corral Street, and that's Buckman Coe and Friends. And my favourite of the album, of course, is the Apocalypse Is Not Guaranteed. I'd love to play that right now. Is there any other tracks on the album you'd like us to play, or?
Well, if I love that track, I mean, if you wanted to play something from the actual night that's inspired by Siddhartha, I would suggest, Brother or Leaving Samsara.
Sure.
But The Apocalypse Is Not Guaranteed is a beautiful song, so I would be happy if you played that one as well.
Sure. Okay, we'll play a couple more tracks from the album here. The album is called By the Mountain's Feet by Buckman Coe, and so you can catch him a couple of times in the near-distant future, 7 o'clock tonight at the Chinese Gardens downtown in Chinatown. And was it the Media Club, you said, next Thursday, right?
Yeah, on the 21st.
The 21st, Thursday, yeah. That's right. So that's Buckman Coe. Buckman, we'd love to have a chat with you again at another time. And everyone, this sounds like a great show tonight, and a great way to spend a summer night here in Vancouver.
Thank you very much for having me on the air, Matthew.
Oh, no problem, Buckman. And we'll talk to you again another time.
We'll talk soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.